Hari Om. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogataan atmannevatmana tushtaha stita prajnas tadochyate. So in the last 18 verses of the second chapter, Bhagavan is indicating the characteristics of a realized person, a realized, self-realized person who has recognized his own true nature, who has understood that the self is different from the body, the mind, the intellect. It is that pure consciousness, one who has recognized, realized, and is fully established in that self. The signs of a person who has realized is seen outside also. So those outer signs are indicated here. One is that the person is free from all desires. There are no desires. Because what he desires, he has attained. Full satisfaction, full joy, freedom from all death and mortality. Then there is total control over the senses. The senses also run around here and there in search of happiness, and they are prompted by the desires and prompted by our mind. So a self-realized person has got total control over the senses. They just obey. They don't go around without his permission as though. Then Bhagavan elaborately describes what happens if we don't control our senses or we control them forcefully. Says if we forcefully control our senses, then it leaves behind a taste. Then again when the second chance is given, again they run after the objects. So the method is that we should have a higher goal in life, goal of that self-realization or enlightenment. So when that goal is there and then we control the senses, then the power and the force which is generated gets directed towards our ultimate goal. So it becomes like a sublimation, not suppression. Also, if one doesn't have that higher goal in mind, then the mind gets involved into thinking about objects and how one can derive pleasures from those objects. And constant thinking about that creates attachment in our mind, creates the desire in our mind. Then the desire gets converted into anger, which gets converted into delusion, a loss of memory. And when the memory fails, the intellect also cannot operate properly and the person gets destroyed. So therefore, Bhagavan says, a realized person is one who has got total control over his senses as well as his mind. So a seeker should try to gain this vairagya, freedom from both attachment and repulsion, and try to move towards gaining this enlightenment. As we move towards our goal, our mind starts becoming more and more pure. We start becoming more and more free from our likes and dislikes. And a time will come when we will experience inner joy that is called prasad. This prasad is experienced even before one reaches the final destination. Just as before we go to sleep, we feel the pressure of the sleep and also get little joy also, little dozing and all, and we come to know that, yeah, powerful sleep is coming. We know how intense it is. Similarly, a person who has purified his mind and the intellect also is very clear about the goal, and the senses are under control, there is a certain peace, and that peace gives rise to deep satisfaction and joy. That is called prasad. This joy is not because of the senses. This joy is not because of the mind. It is when they are totally silent, one experiences this joy which is of our own self. So this prasad is given a lot of importance here. So when we reach the state of prasad, the intellect becomes more and more quiet and it gets settled in that self. Prasanna chetaso hyasho buddhi paryavatishthate. So meditation happens when that joy is there in our heart. The mind, intellect settles in the self. Just as when we are tired, we go into a state of sleep. Similarly, when we have this prasad, we go into a state of meditation. It's directly connected. So prasanna chetaso hyasho buddhi paryavatishthate. And this prasad is that which destroys all dukkha. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate. It destroys all sorrows of our heart. Therefore, Bhagavan further he praises this prasad, verse number 66. Nasti buddhirayuktasya nachayuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantihi ashantasya kutas sukham nasti buddhirayuktasya nachayuktasya bhavana. It says कि न अस्ति बुद्धि ही अयुक्तस्य. One who is disintegrated doesn't have the knowledge. Such a person do not have the knowledge about the self. One who is disintegrated. Ayukta. Ayukta means one whose senses, mind and intellect are not aligned properly. Means one whose life is controlled by the senses rather than by the intellect. The senses are running helter and skelter. The mind runs after the senses. The intellect also justifies whatever the senses are doing. So there is total chaos in our internal personality, you can say. So such a person is called disintegrated. Such a disintegrated person who has got variety of desires in the mind, variety of distractions, and runs in all directions, such a person, Bhagavan says, there is no chance of gaining the knowledge of the self. Na buddhihi, will not have understanding of the self, will not know what the scriptures are talking about. Even after listening, will not understand what is happening. Will try to find the closest opportunity to run away. So will not understand. See, the self is so subtle, it is very difficult to comprehend. So all that we know in this world through our senses and all is a world of matter. World of matter. Self is that which makes this matter alive. To put it in a simple language, atoms and molecules and all those things, this matter is there. If you analyze this matter, it has got no life in it. It is just dead matter, and it works according to fixed laws of nature. The electrons, how it will move, the protons, how it will function, everything has got their own laws. They follow laws. So a molecule follows whatever laws. But let us say a virus is there or a bacteria is there which is made up of the same molecule. The body is made up of the same matter. It has got something extra in it called life. Once that life comes, how that matter will behave, no scientist can tell. It is so strange, like. It is totally different. So there is something different from matter which makes that matter alive. That which makes the matter alive is called, that consciousness is called Atma. It is not life itself, but it is that which makes the matter alive. In the 10th chapter, Bhagavan reveals that Jivanam Sarva Bhuteshu. He says, I am life in all the beings. If you want to know me, try to know life itself. So I am that life. So that consciousness by itself is very subtle. Life itself to comprehend is very difficult. We can understand the outer expression of life. Even scientists and all, when they want to know, study life, they only study the matter and how they respond to each other. But exactly what is life is not known. And what is that which makes life possible is further not known. So that is that self. So here, when we make our mind, our intellect absolutely integrated, calm, quiet, peaceful, we will be able to comprehend our own self. But one who is totally disintegrated, have multiple desires in his mind, senses are not under control, intellect has not understood and appreciated the truth, such a person, Bhagavan says, will not gain that knowledge. And such a person, there is no chance of meditation also. Nacha ayuktasya bhavana. Bhavana here means meditation. Meditation also is not possible for those who are disintegrated. Again, when the senses are not under control, when minds have multiple desires, when intellect has no understanding, no clue of the self. See, there is great attraction for meditation. People love meditation. They are not interested in studying the scriptures. They are not interested to know on whom they have to meditate. They just want to know how to meditate. So how to sit, we can teach. How to close your eyes, that can be taught. How to focus your attention somewhere on your breathing and all, that also can be taught. But afterwards, the journey within, one has to take ourselves. And that is possible when the intellect is very clear about the nature of the self and what is not self. Atma Anatma Vivek should be very clear. So one who is disintegrated, there is no chance of meditation. Meditation is when we transcend our mind, intellect, and senses. It's an art by which we transcend this while remaining awake. While going to sleep also we transcend, but go into a state of ignorance. But in meditation we transcend the senses, the mind, the intellect, remaining awake, conscious. So this is not possible if a person is disintegrated. Okay, what will happen if I don't meditate? He says, Nacha abhavayata shantihi. Without meditation, one will not be able to experience peace, shanti, the deep peace which passeth all understanding, as they say, which is beyond all noise, which is beyond all disturbance, which is the very nature of our own